Okay, so here we are on a morning walk with the birthday girl. Say happy birthday to Wanda. Wish her best year and decade yet. Look, a lot of conversations have happened over the last few weeks of, Tom, what do I do? And anybody who has ideas are simply that. They're ideas, they're hypothesis, they're history repeating itself, and they are all circling back to humans, you and I, being resilient, being curious, being willing to do what most others won't do or aren't willing to do. And why do I say that for you? Because if you're in my circle, that's who I attract. I attract people who do things that are not what the norm does. They achieve levels of success and levels of results that not many people do, because you're willing to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes until you get there. With the asterisk, and I'm only saying this just for anyone who's new to my world, ethically and honestly, right? I know that if you followed me for any time, I don't attract people that are not ethical or honest. But if you're new to my world, that's the parameter that goes with it. You're willing to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes to get from where you are to where you want to be. So in this new chapter of 2020, everyone had nice aspirations and nice plans when we crossed into the new year, and those all went out the window just a few weeks ago, because we have entered a new state of the world, a new state of the world economy. What used to be is not what it is. Now, that doesn't mean what used to work doesn't work. In some cases, that's a true fact, where what used to work for a business absolutely doesn't work right now. But that's not all-inclusive for every business, for every activity, for everything that you have done in the past. Doesn't mean it won't work moving forward. It may need some revision. It may need some iterations. It may need some updates so that you enter the conversation in your prospects' minds, right? So if your old messaging, if it's not changed or modified, it may come off as being non-empathetic. It may come off as being, who are you to share this with me in this time, right? So you have to possibly modify your message so that it enters the conversation in your prospects, in your ideal clients' minds. But other than that, it's really breaking it down to what is marketing, what is business. It's a conversation. It's people getting to know, like, and trust you. It's people saying, hey, I like that product, I like that service, I need what that product or service promises and delivers, so I'm in, right? So it's literally just communication. And so one of the most important skills to master is the art of communication, the art of getting your message across to your community, to your target audience, to your ideal prospects and clients in a manner that goes through the four letters that are age-old and still timeless in marketing, and they are AIDA. Your messaging has to get the attention of your target audience. It has to gain the interest of your target audience, because in this attention age deficit world we're in, humans now have the attention span less of a goldfish. A goldfish, you can have a better conversation with a goldfish. It'll pay more attention than most humans. So we got that going for us. And so attention, interest, desire. You have to have them desiring what it is that you have for your product or service. And that goes into talking about the features, the benefits, the pain that they're currently under, and the solution that your product or service delivers. So attention, interest, desire, and then A for action. You have to have a proper call to action, which, similar to the attention deficit age we're in, you have to have the influential aspects integrated into your messaging so that people take action now. Because if they say they're going to get to it tomorrow never comes. It's like, think about your email inbox. You see an inbox subject line, or you see something that you actually open up and you're like, oh, okay, that's cool, let me get to it tomorrow. If it's not something super important that's scheduled into your calendar tomorrow has its own host of issues and challenges and problems, and even more so in this new age that we have entered. I don't know about you, but man, I've been busier than the son of a gun since all of this happened on the the quarantine and all this craziness with the coronavirus and the economic slowdown and slash shutdown. I've been busier than the son of a gun having conversations, which leads to what can you do? The answer of what can you do is strike up conversations with some of your friends and some of your family and some of your people in your peer group that you know you like, you trust, and you want to, just connect at one level. But what I like to have are called no expectation meetings. No agenda, no expectation, no ulterior motive, just a conversation. How are you? What's happening? What's changed since all this has occurred? How are you? How are the family? How's business? How's life? Just touch bases and connect on a human level, not as a checklist of like, oh, I have to say this, I have to do this. No, because you really care. You really give a crap. Do it. Hopefully. And once again, I only attract people that are like that. They don't have those ulterior motives. Like, yeah, I want to touch bases with friend, family member, peer that I haven't chatted with in a while, and just how are things? How are you? And then, okay, so how have you pivoted? What used to work that isn't working now? What used to work that is working now that maybe required a little bit of iteration, a little bit of modifying of the message? And what's going on? And in those conversations, those no expectation conversations, since I coined that term in the early 2000s, there have been millions, tens of millions of dollars that have occurred from the no expectation conversations. Because when you're having those conversations, ideas come up for you that you can actually implement. There are possible joint venture partnerships that can be made, and a project that is started when those conversations occur. You could give some helpful insights to your friend, your family member, your peer that could give them some inspiration, give them some motivation, give them some plan of action to take. And I would encourage you to become curious. Say, this is like a big puzzle that no one has ever solved because it's brand new. Humanity has not felt a puzzle such as this since prior to the Great Depression, since prior to the Black Plague, the bubonic plague, things like that. Like, this is multiple generations ago since society has had to work in this type of situation. And guess what? Society never had a world shutdown, because when all those things happened in the past, the communication around the world wasn't so quick and so immediate. The whole world never shut down. So this is literally a once in a lifetime situation and a once in human history situation that we're living through. So this is a new puzzle that no one has solved. That makes you, as a kick-butt problem solver, that should inspire some intrigue within you. That should inspire some curiosity. Like, how can I be the one to solve this? Not just for me, for my own mental health, my own physical health, my own emotional health, and for my own relationship health, my personal and professional relationships, but also my financial health. How can I solve this so I can, A, put my mask on first? Think back to the airline analogy. When you're on the flight, they tell you, put your mask on first before helping a small child or others. You got to put your mask on first so that you can figure it out, solve the puzzle. And then as you're reaching out to your friends and family and peers, you can help them. And together, we all pull through this. Together, just like solving a big complex puzzle, it's easier when you have multiple perspectives, multiple people helping, because some are focused on putting the border around, some are working on one area over there, and together, there's different things that are seen. So I would encourage each and every one of you to pick up the phone and start scheduling, start reaching out to and contacting your friends, your family, your peers, to have these no expectation calls. And guess what? When you aren't expecting anything, magic occurs. When you're just doing it from the goodness of your heart and just want to touch bases and see how things are, you're going to have some incredible conversations at the very least. And there are going to be some epiphanies, both you and the other person will have, and there may be possibilities that come from that. So my hope is that you see this as a challenge. And with any worthwhile challenge, you're one who rises to that challenge. So accept the challenge, recognize that, hey, life as it was is not going to be how it's going to be, but I'm going to be curious of how I can make the most of this journey, figure this puzzle out for me, personally and professionally, figure it out for my health, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, figure it out for my key relationships, and figure it out for my financial situation. and not just survive, but thrive. It's just another turning point. And there's a quote, it's not too comforting to hear when you're going through challenges, but it's true. Every adversity carries with it the seed of an equivalent or greater benefit. So the bigger the adversity, the bigger the benefit. And for the kick-butt problem solvers like you, like me, like everyone else here watching this, huge opportunity awaits for those who are able to be the problem solvers. The bigger the problem, the bigger the reward. Make today great, and happy birthday, Wanda. Woo! All right, have a great one. Chat with you soon.